Discovering new ways of planning a funeral can involve the whole family and can provide some comfort and support for both partners and children through what is often a difficult and emotional time.
What, in the summer?
The kids always knew that Carol was going to die because the first day we got the real diagnosis, we were told it was terminal. So Carol being Carol and me being me, we came home and told the kids straight away. Well, it was the last time Carol and I ever went anywhere. We were gone to the lakes in February. We ended up in Cockermouth, and this was in the window, and we both decided immediately that for some reason we liked it and wanted it. So we bought it. Really, once she'd been confirmed as a case of terminal cancer, she was actually in a situation where there was very little she could control. She was obviously going to die. And the final thing she could actually take charge of or have any say in the matter about was really the funeral. We'd been to one or two other funerals in the meantime where they were the classic church straightforward funeral where she felt that they were extremely cold and impersonal. And you could have substituted another name instead of the person who died instead of that, and it would have been exactly the same treatment, whereas she wanted an individual treatment and decided to take charge of it herself. What she wanted on the coffin was to encapsulate what she did, so 70% of her life was depicted on the coffin. And so she wanted a picture of the estuary, and there's nothing more beautiful than the estuary at sunset. We had a house in the Algarve, so there was a picture of the Algarve with the boats at Sagres Harbour. The rest of the time she occupied herself playing golf, tennis and badminton. And I suppose if anybody in the village was ever talking about Carol, they'd say, well, she's either playing golf, tennis or badminton if you want to know where she is. So this sort of thing really gave it a very good resume of her life on 5 sides of a coffin. I mean, the kids came up to the Chapel of Rest and were not really emotionally distraught over it. I mean, they were quite sad, but they were not emotionally distraught. And they took things that they were going to give to their mother to take with her. And they took shuttles and a couple of golf balls, a tennis ball and little notes, and put them in the coffin and said, this is it, Mum, that's it, goodbye. And it was really much more natural than you could have ever expected if we'd gone into the cold, dark Chapel of Rest with the coffin laid out perfectly. Because of that, I think it was a lot easier afterwards to let her go.
I think it didn't really occur to me what actually I was doing. It just seemed nice to go along with her and pick out what she wanted and what we both kind of wanted, what everyone wanted, so we were all involved in it. It was nice to know there are different ways of doing things. And so now actually my friends and I have all decided, oh, I want this doing, I want this doing. I thought it'd be quite nice to be buried on a hillside or something and have a tree. And it's just nice to know that there's different things. You don't have to go to church or you don't have to do all these things. It's nice to know that there are other things which are more personal to what you believe in, not just because everyone else does it so I have to do it as well. It's kind of more case of what you want, you can have.
But I miss you most of all.